Hello, my loyal Walking Dead subscribers. How is everyone tonight? It's Brian, and welcome to my 27th live stream. Today is June 8th, Tuesday. Let's see, I hope the audio and everything's okay. Let's see. Matt, glad you're here. He says, sup, guys. And Dan's also here. Glad to see it. So hyped for the plate tonight. I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Sorry, I just ate, so. All right, so let's talk about episode 4, Take Us Back. The series and season finale of the Walking Dead Telltale games. And this was an amazing episode, like just absolutely crazy. Oh, hey, DeRosa, he says, hi. And Dan says, same here, man. Oh, about the plague. Yeah. So the episode starts out and we get AJ narrating it, and I was actually kind of scared. I'm like, oh man, are they really going to kill off Clementine? And AJ is talking about how, well, in my version, how he after he killed Marlon, Clementine said that was murder and that he had to atone and all that stuff. So yeah, and then AJ. Oh, and then I convinced AJ not to kill Lily, and then James died. So AJ was like I'm starting to think Clem doesn't always know what's the right thing to do, and AJ's like, I don't know what this thing I'm feeling is like. Um, I was just like surprised by that. I'm like, wow, like that's just crazy. Like what AJ is becoming. Let's see, Matt. He says hi to DeRosa, and Dan says craziest episode ever. Yeah, it really was, Dan, because I was so scared. I was on the edge of. Actually, I wasn't even sitting down when I was playing this episode. My living room doesn't really have a good chair to play, so I was just standing up throughout the whole episode, just my face glued to the screen because I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a single prompt. Because I was so terrified that Clementine was going to get bit, and the fact that she did, technically, she does get bit is just what it's crazy. But obviously, you guys know she survives, and we're all happy about that. I don't think anyone was disappointed that Clementine didn't die. Like seriously, like that would be like a that's like an act of war. You know what I mean? Let's see. Matt says this episode was a masterpiece of writing and storytelling. Yes, I agree, Matt. Just the way they ended as well, like all of the seasons has been building up to this moment, and we think it's going to go one way. See, this is how you subvert expectations well. Dan and Dave, from the writers from Game of Thrones, they need to take notes. This is how you subvert expectations. Not you have a character completely going out of character and doing something. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you subvert expectations, and the audience loves it. This is how you do it. Let's see. DeRosa says was good. And Dan says, I love how the logo was on the wall and all the credits at the end. Yeah, I really like that too, Dan, because you gotta appreciate everyone who worked hard on this game. A lot of people worked very hard making the Telltale games. Obviously, season 3, they couldn't really work the hardest because they were doing multiple games while writing and designing that story. So I can't really blame them. I blame the CEO for season 3. You know what I mean? Because the CEO was like greedy or something. Let's see. Matt says great design choice. About what? The ending with AJ in the hallway and all the credits. Let's see. Dan says agreed, and Dan says so happy she survived. They gave her a dumpster death first, though. Yeah. It's so funny, Dan. Like how many Walking Dead characters get a dumpster death fake out? Like Glenn got it, like Rick got it. You know what I mean, in the show, because like with the helicopter, everyone thought he was dead for a second, and then Clementine gets the dumpster death fake out. It's like, man, a lot of characters, a lot of main characters, important characters, sure are getting fake out deaths. You know what I mean? And it's not bad. I'm just saying, like, it's just something I'm noticing, like a pattern. Matt says Neil Drunkman should have taken notes from this and the Walking Dead show for The Last of Us 2. Oh yeah, right. Neil Drunkman is the one who did Last of Us 2. Yeah. I don't know, just what they did with Last of Us. Like I think the best way to fix Last of Us 2 is they should have had us play as Ellie a lot more, and just should not have had us play as Abby for so much of the game. Like that was one big issue. I would say those were the main issues, as well as that ending. Just didn't really make sense, I suppose. Dan says Last of Us 2 needs so much help. LOL. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I mean, it's crazy. The game, it does look great. You know what I mean? The game itself, like the graphics, like the things they add to the game, like it's all fantastic. You know what I mean? But the problem with it is the writing. The writing just isn't there. I mean, who actually thought that? I mean, did anyone actually think that Abby would be like a good character in the game? Because I didn't. I knew immediately when I saw Abby. I'm like, oh boy, I don't think this is gonna end well, and I was right. Hold on, guys. I need to put in my charger. My laptop is going to die soon, so I don't want it to end the stream prematurely. So I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, just put in more comments and responses, and I'll just plug in and charge my laptop. Oh, well, let's see. Matt says The Walking Dead season 3 has a better story. Oh, than The Last of Us 2. Um, I would. I mean, I don't know. It's up there though. It's up there with not a great story. Dan says AJ is definitely my third favorite character after Clem and Lee. Yeah, that's why I put AJ as an honorable mention for the top 10 best Walking Dead characters in all the properties, just because AJ is he's I mean he's the best, so not including Clementine in a way because she's a teenager, close to an adult. Like AJ, as far as like a young kid, like AJ is much better than Carl was in the beginning of the show of the comics. He's much better than Herschel, Herschel Jr. That's what Herschel Jr. should have been. He's a lot better. Yeah, I would say he's better than Judith, honestly, too, and he's definitely better than RJ because they're not really doing anything with RJ in the show. Like I can't think. Can you guys think of besides RJ collecting seashells with Judith in the premiere? What did they have RJ do this season? You know what I mean? Like I don't think they had him do anything. Like AJ is a fantastic character. You know what I mean? He's young, but he's very strong for his age. He's very smart, and he's always thinking. And like he makes great calls, even though they're questionable. Like AJ does things that even Clementine herself doesn't have the guts to do, I suppose. And yeah, uh, Matt says RJ is so boring. LOL. Yeah, that because they're not doing anything with him. Like I think RJ, like, yeah, RJ's only purpose in the show is just to be a legacy character. Dan says Judith versus AJ, who would win? Oh, that's very tough, Dan. Okay, so if we're going by right now, season 10, 10-year-old Judith, I would still say AJ would win, but okay, the reason I'm saying this is because if you remember throughout the season, AJ constantly bit people who attacked him. Like he bit like skin off, he bit people's ears off. Like AJ is a biter. You know what I mean? Judith is not a biter, so I think that's why AJ would win. Matt says I forgot he was a character. Yeah, RJ definitely is pretty underdeveloped. Dan says RJ is the next Scott. Oh, I hope not, Dan. I mean, Scott, I want him off the show, but RJ, they got to do something with him because he's the only son left of Rick Grimes. So yeah. And Matt says at least Scott is memorable because of the memes. Oh boy. Honestly, I don't really know him for the memes, but I should check them out, Matt. But yeah, that's funny. And Dan says true. Yeah, honestly, I only know Scott just from standing there in the background. That's pretty much what I got from most of him, like in the story. Hold on, guys. I gotta go get my charger real quick. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so the episode starts out. Clementine is waking up, and we get the part where, oh yeah, Clementine is she's hanging on the side of the boat and her hat falls off, and I remember watching some guy's reaction where he's like, I have to go back for that hat. Like, I will die to get that hat. And I was just thinking, I'm like, look, don't get me wrong. Clementine's hat is very iconic, but like putting Clementine in actual danger, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like I would sacrifice Scott to get Clementine's hat back, but sacrificing Clementine, no way, you know? So AJ is stuck on another part, and Clementine catches him as he's about to fall off, and they're in the boat. And man, this was such an intense scene. Like, did any of you guys really struggle playing season four, like to get the prompts and the the QTEs correct? Because like the button mashing it's very difficult in season four. Like did you guys like were you guys scared that you were gonna miss like were you gonna miss like a button? Like, because I was worried like there for a minute, like I wasn't gonna catch AJ or something. And the boat's tipping over, but Clementine and AJ jump down, and we have that like bald guy who's like shooting arrows. He's using Marlin's bow and he's shooting arrows at Clem. And I just love this. Like, so I take one of the arrows, like Clementine takes one of the arrows and stabs the guy in the foot, then takes the bow and then kills him. And I'm just like, nicely done, Clem. Dan says if Clem died for her hat, I would literally start saying the ending of Game of Thrones wasn't that bad. LOL. Yeah. Oh yeah, hat. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I know you meant hat, Dan. It's all right. Yeah. I mean, I would sacrifice like certain characters for that hat, but not Clementine. You know what I mean? It's like if someone said, what would you rather have, the sheriff's hat or Carl in the show? I would say, of course, I'd rather have Carl. Matt says Scott actually has a scene in season 7 where he argues with Rick, and I'm just like, get back. Oh, wait, sorry, guys. This stupid thing popped out. Scott actually has a scene in season 7 where he argues with Rick, and I'm just like, get back to being screen furniture, Scott. Oh, man, that's a good one, Matt. That made me laugh. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. You said Scott argues with Rick. I remember him having at least one scene with Rick, like talking to him, but arguing, like I don't remember him like arguing, like face to face. Like I don't really recall that. But yeah, that is true. Like Scott, he Scott's purpose is screen furniture. He's that lamp stand in the background. You know what I mean? Basically. So anyway, oh yeah, after Clementine takes the bow, and this is the part where a lot of you guys probably didn't get. So Clementine and AJ, they see, or I guess I see as well, Lily rowing away on like a plank or like a big plank or something from the boat or in the water, and she picks up a crossbow to aim at Clem, but Clem aims her or Marlin's bow at her, and Lily is like, don't waste your arrows. This is over, and it's just like crazy. Like, I mean, like I don't try to shoot her the first time. I get 3 chances, and I tried to shoot her the third time, but she was too far and I missed. But this is the part, like, you actually cannot kill Lily if you told AJ not to kill her at the end of episode 3. You can't kill her at all in episode 4. Like, that's just crazy. Dan says I should do top 10 best Scott moments. I don't know if there's enough moments though. LOL. Yeah, Dan, I don't think you're gonna have enough for 5, like let alone 10. But yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I really like doing top 10 things that you guys suggest, but I don't think I can do that. Like, it just is not a reasonable top 10 for me to do. You know what I mean? It's just I just don't think it's reasonable in the slightest. That's like maybe like an April Fool's like video or something. Anyway, so I tried to kill. Well, I don't know if I tried to kill Lily, but I tried to shoot her, but it misses. And this, oh yeah, the part where like I don't know, Lily says that. Okay, so as Clementine, I asked like, what happened to you, and obviously we know what happened to Lily, but the character doesn't. And I don't justify Lily's actions. She says that her people are gonna lose this war, but if that's the case, then she should have been there defending her home, not coming to a community full of kids and kidnapping, torturing, abusing, and killing them. You know what I mean? Just, I don't justify Lily's actions, not one bit. I don't feel sorry for her. I just don't. And after Lily said something like that, she was going to lose her home because of Clem. I said this funny thing where, as Clementine, I said, "Why don't you write it in a story? Call it the Parable of Lily." And Lily's like, "Maybe I will." And even though you guys might not find this funny, I find it so funny because that's basically, I feel like that's the novels. You know what I mean? Like, the Walking Dead novels with Lily. Like, I just feel like that's like a reference or like an Easter egg, I suppose. Because let's be honest, like I can't, I hardly know anybody who likes the Lily novels. Just, they're not great. They're terrible. Like, would anyone, like, if Lily actually wrote a book in a zombie apocalypse about her story, I don't think anyone would read it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Matt says top 10 moments where Negan was scared of Scott. Um, I don't think. You know what's funny, Matt? Remember when Spencer was like, who are you?" when he saw Negan? That's who Negan would. That's how Negan would be. He would look at Scott and be like, who the heck are you? You know what I mean? Just like, I just know Negan would say that because Scott is just, he's been around since the beginning of season 6, and they still have not done anything. Like, I can't even remember a single quote from him. You know what I mean? I just can't. It's He's that minor of a character. You know what I mean? Dan says he scared Negan by just standing there. Yeah, yeah, Dan. Negan would probably like see Scott in the background and be like, "Yo, Rick, what's up with that guy just standing there doing nothing? Like, he's kind of freaking me out, you know? Like, even though Gabriel, like, at least Gabriel is smiling and saying words, but Scott would just stay there in the background. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you say those novels are still collecting dust. Yeah, I know, Dan. Just, I really think the novels are just one of the worst ideas The Walking Dead has ever had. Like, for their franchise, I just think the novels are just terrible. And yeah, I think when, I feel like it's got to be an Easter egg or like a reference to Lily the novels because it's just funny. It's like, why don't you write a story about it, Lily? And she's like, maybe I will. And it's like, well, Lily, your story already is a story, and nobody likes it, you know. All right, so I should get back to the episode. Let's see. Matt says if Scott was chosen for Lucille, the bat would bounce off his head and fling back at Negan and kill him. Oh, that's funny, Matt. Um, Honestly, if it was Scott, nobody would have cared. Like, they would have just been like, wait, who is that guy? Dan says, I sure hope Jeffrey Dean Morgan stays on the show, though. I'm a huge Negan fan, minus Glenn, though. Yeah, I agree, Dan. It's just that one thing about Negan, still, just that killing Glenn thing is just something I still cannot let go. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what happened with, Abby and Joel from The Last of Us 2. Um, Except the difference here is that Negan actually is an interesting and relatable character, and he actually is being given a redemption arc. Whereas Abby, well, I don't know what arc they were doing with her. Anyway, yeah, I agree, Dan. Honestly, I remember seeing that video earlier today. Yeah, if Jeffrey Dean Morgan leaves the show, a lot of people are going to stop watching too. I think, honestly, you're only going to have Daryl, Carol, and Maggie, and Judith, I guess. But that's it. You're not going to have any Negan, no Rick, no Michonne, no Carl. Just, I mean, who's left? Anyway, oh yeah, and there's also no Dwight. It's crazy. So yeah, the boat explodes, and Clementine and AJ, they wake up. The walkers are coming, and we reunite with Lewis and some of the other survivors. And oh yeah, Dan, you probably didn't get this part of your story, but when Clementine was reuniting with everyone, we find out what happens to Violet, and like, this might surprise you what happens to Violet. Let's see. Matt says, I'm pretty sure Negan will stay. I kind of hope so, Matt, but I don't know. I feel like Jeffrey Dean Morgan might want to move on to other projects. You know what I mean? I feel like he's that type of actor who he'll say, like, I loved being on the show, but I feel like it's time for me to move on. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's that type of actor. So yeah, we Clementine and AJ reunite with Lewis and the other characters, and the Lily's group is they're getting massacred by the walkers, and they're getting bit, they're getting killed, and this is crazy. But Violet is being attacked by a walker, and we kill the walker, and Violet can't see. Like I'm not joking. Like Dan, this happened in my version. Like obviously it didn't happen in yours, but in my version, like Violet's eyes are like burned. Her face is burned, and we find out that she was around the boiler room when the bomb went off, or she was like in it. Like her and Minerva were gonna try and stop the bomb, but it was too late, and Violet cannot see. You know what I mean? So we take Violet with us, and we decide to go, and then Minerva is the last person standing from like Lily's group, and she gets bit on the arm and then on the face. And after that, I was like, well, there's no saving her now. And she just pulls out a grenade, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this chick is crazy. Like, but obviously, like Clementine, she shoots her in the shoulder, and then the grenade explodes, not on Minerva, but in between her and Clem. Dan says, I hope so. Daryl is my favorite right now, but after that, it's Negan. Yeah, Dan. I mean, honestly, with Daryl is also up there with my favorites, but you know what? Yeah, right now, since Michonne's gone from the show, Daryl is my favorite character left at this point. Cause yeah, it's just like there's hardly anyone left. I'm not saying that Daryl is like the least important character. I'm just saying like I've always never been like a huge fan of Daryl. I just found him okay as a character. You know, uh, you know what I mean? Like I found Daryl's tough. He's a very strong survivor, but I never really loved his character. I suppose for the longest time in the show, like I wasn't obsessed, like an obsessed fan. You know what I mean? Uh, but I do like Daryl in season 9 and 10. Let's see. Matt says if Negan leaves, then we need Morgan and Dwight on the main show ASAP. Yeah, I agree, Matt. But the problem is, um, Fear the Walking Dead is still like. Let me think. It's been four. Yeah, it's been 4 years. Yeah. Okay. So it's been 4 years, and um, they're still like 7 years behind, like 6 or 7 years behind the main show. So they would have to explain why Morgan and Dwight took so long, and they would have to age up the actors or something. They gotta have it make sense, I suppose. But yeah, we definitely need Morgan and Dwight back on the show. I just don't get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I did like some of Morgan's scenes in Fear, but I didn't like anything from Dwight in season 5. Like, pretty much nothing. I get it, he has to look for Sherry, but the actor Austin Emilio he's so talented, but they're not giving him much to do, and that's a shame. Dan says, definitely, I love if Dwight showed up in the finale out of nowhere, and that's the big shocking moment that Greg is talking about. Yeah, yeah, Dan, I remember in your video I said, what if it's a fear character? And technically, Dwight is a fear character, but yeah, I mean, if Dwight came out of nowhere, that would be crazy. But the problem is, I don't think they finished filming season 6 of Fear. I don't think they finished all the filming, so they would have to work a way around that. That would be kind of tricky. Dan says, "I'd love for Dwight to come back, but actually keep him alive, unlike the comics in 186." Yeah, that's true. And man, I can't believe it. Rick dies just one volume, just 6 issues later. That's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like Dwight and Rick's death are like so close together. Um, all right, so back to the episode. So in the episode, when the grenade goes off, all the characters from the school, they're in the cart with a horse, and the horse gets spooked, so it takes them away. And Clementine and AJ are by themselves, and Minerva is going crazy, killing walkers, and we come across 10, and we go inside this cave, and 10 asks about Minnie, and I tell him the truth. I say she was bit, and we move into the cave. And as Clementine, I pick up a few items. I talk with AJ and 10 a little bit, and the walkers are coming. And when we're about to cross the bridge, I get okay. So Dan, you didn't get this, but I got it. So So when Clementine and AJ and Ten are trying to cross this bridge of water, like in a cave, they come across James, and he's a zombie now, and this freaks AJ out. You know what I mean? Like he can't move and stuff. So we as Clementine, we push the walkers back, even James, and we run, and that's it. Like James is a walker. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. Like James turned, and yeah, he's a walker. So after that, we get the part of the episode where AJ he gets mad at me, or at Clementine, about why I didn't let him kill Lily. And I was asking this too. I'm like, man, why didn't I have AJ just do it? You know what I mean? But as Clementine, I told him that I did it to protect him. Killing is kind of tricky. Like I get that Lily's a bad person. Like she deserves to get killed, obviously. But like the AJ doing it is like, is it really worth chipping away at AJ's humanity? I suppose. And when I was playing as Clem, I feel like I didn't want to do that. And Dan, I know in your story you got the part where AJ says that he liked killing Lily. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if AJ says like it felt good or whatever, but yeah, that's yeah. Wait, Dan says I still can't believe that James just died in your version. Yeah, Dan. Like I really did not think that after I thought that Lily, her leg, you know what I mean, like her leg, she had a knife. We cut her leg up bad with a knife. I thought, okay, she was probably gonna bleed to death, and AJ did not need to kill her. We need to get off this boat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were just gonna leave Lily behind as the boat exploded. Like, I thought that's what it was going for at the end of episode 3. But then James goes in front of Lily, turns his back, and then takes the gun from AJ, and then boom, he gets stabbed in the back. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, that is not how I saw that coming. You know what I mean? Or how I saw that scene playing out. I thought, I thought like we were all gonna leave, and like Lily was gonna be on the boat. She can't stand, and the boat explodes. Like I thought that's how it was gonna go. Matt says Lily had to go. She became worse than her father, and that guy was a piece of work. Yeah, I agree, Matt. Larry was a piece of work, but at least he wasn't an abuser. You know what I mean, of children. Lily is a terrible person. You know what I mean? Like she. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Matt. You said peace. Actually, you wrote price. I didn't even notice that because I knew what you were trying to say. You know what I mean? When someone says like oh, that guy's a piece of work, I just think of that, even though the word says price. But yeah, I agree, Matt. Larry was bad, but like I said, he had some good qualities at least. But Lily, she is a coward. I mean, just think about that. When she has all the power, she's so high and mighty, and when she loses that power, she's a beggar. She begs not to die. That's pathetic. You know what I mean? Like, it's a person who is just not worth it, I suppose. But like I said, I really did not see that scene playing out that way. I thought Clementine and James and AJ and Ten, they were going to leave Lily to the boat as it was going to explode. But yeah, but Lily, there's no hope for Lily. She doesn't deserve people. She doesn't deserve to be alive or anything like that. She has. I mean, okay. Yes, it was an accident, but you guys know what she did in the comics, and we saw what she does in the games. You know what I mean? There's no justifying her actions. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dan says Larry was so annoying. Yeah, he was, Dan. Matt says Kenny all did us a solid there. LOL. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Matt. I suppose Larry. Yeah, I mean Kenny did kill Larry. Larry was still alive when he threw that salt lick on him. And Dan says thanks, Kenny. Matt says really wish Kenny was at the school with Clem to see what Lily became. Yeah, Matt, that would have been interesting. The issue is that if Kenny was there, he would have became the leader of the school, I suppose, because he would have been the oldest adult, and or like I mean the adult there, and Clementine wouldn't really be a leader. So that's what I love about the seasons. The series is not like Lee's story. It's not Kenny's story. It's Clementine's. In season 1 we see Clementine being protected and learning that the world has ended, I suppose. And season 2 is Clementine using those skills that Lee taught her to survive. Season 3 is about Clementine finding, hope and trusting people again. And then season 4 is, taking Clementine, making her be a leader and a mother, I suppose. So every season does something for Clementine's story. I mean, I don't agree with what they did in season 3 with her, like how she was a minor character, but still, I mean, it was still something. And let's be honest, Clementine was pretty much the only reason people play that game. All right, so AJ asks me to trust him. He says, like, I want to be like a policeman or a firefighter that makes the hard calls like they did. And I tell him, I say, okay, I trust you because I felt like AJ deserved my trust. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I'll be honest, I got James killed. I did not at all intend for that to happen. Lily got away in my version, and yeah, I mean, it's just, I'll admit, like when I'm playing as Clementine, I don't know what I'm doing. Like even Clementine says this later in the episode, but yeah, it's so true. Like we don't know what we're doing when we're playing this game. And when Clementine is taking care of AJ, or driving somewhere to find a home, like even she said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going from one to the place to the next. That's kind of how it feels with the games. Let's see. So, okay, so Clementine, 10, AJ, and okay, so they leave the cave. And oh yeah, so 10 talks about Asim. So we find out that Asim was the third person in the school who voted for Clementine and AJ to stay, and I like that. I wish they did more with Asim as a character because he was a pretty minor character, but I kind of like that. I suppose I like that about Asim, that even though he doesn't know Clementine and AJ that well, he's a character that knows that they have what it takes to survive, and I feel like we could have had more people like that in Alexandria. Like I'm just like, man, I wish Alexandria had some of those people, back in season 5, season 6. Anyways, yeah, so Asim, Violet, and 10 were the only three of the school who voted for Clem and AJ to stay, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, sorry about that. I think I just hiccuped or something. All right, so Clementine and them, they find Lewis, and oh wait, Mega Matt said. Oh, Matt says Asim is Scott done right. Yeah, I agree with that, Matt. Asim is sure he's not a big character, but he not only helps with the group, he actually does make a few good points here and there. Like so, unlike Lewis, he's very serious day to day, and he also there's like he writes down on the book. You know what I mean? He like writes everything down, I suppose. And so yeah, could he have been a better character in the season? Yeah, sure. But at least he's a character. You know what I mean? Unlike Scott, honestly, at this point, I feel like Scott is just I don't know. Like honestly, Scott could be CGI for all we knew. You know what I mean? Yeah. So okay, so back to the episode. So Clementine and them, we come across Lewis, and Lewis is like, "It's over, Clem. The Raiders are gone, and everyone's back at the school." You know what I mean? And when I was playing this, I'm like, okay, this can't be the end of the episode. It's too happy. You know what I mean? Even though we lost James, like I'm like, okay, there's still something that is missing. You know what I mean? I felt like that dark part of the episode was gonna come soon. So I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen now? So Clementine and Lewis are walking and talking, and Lewis is talking about a couple things, and eventually it leads to him. Oh yeah, so they discuss like this house, like a possible house or something that they can build, and it's so obviously he says purple, the color of it, because I said purple in episode 3. But one thing I really liked is he said like, okay, what else? And I chose to pick the tree house, and I love because it's a tie-in with season 1. You know what I mean? Like I just love those tie-ins with season 1, and that makes me happy. So anyway, they come across the bridge, and the bridge is all broken and all that. Although I wonder how Lewis got across. Did he use the bridge the first time? Anyways, I did not expect this. So the characters are looking, and there's the bridge. It's broken, so they have to jump. And here we get Minerva, singing her "Don't Be Afraid" song, and I'm just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me, like. Like, this is unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like, not now, Minerva. Like, this, like, what is with this girl? You know what I mean? Just well, in Dan's story, she got shot. Okay, so she gets shot in the shoulder with a crossbow, gets bitten in the arm, bitten in the face, gets surrounded by walkers, like almost blown up by a grenade, and she's still standing. Like, what is with this girl? Like, seriously, she is, like, I'll be honest with you guys, she is creeping me out. Like, I thought Abel was unkillable. This girl makes Abel, I mean, oh my goodness, like, she's even more unkillable at this point. And yeah, Minerva has lost it. You know what I mean? Like, she wants to, like, she said she knows she's dying, so she wants to kill 10. Like, and that's just so messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think? Like, that's got to be one of the most messed up things in The Walking Dead. Like, you're gonna die, and you want to kill the only family you have left, just so they don't get to live. It's just, I don't know. That's crazy dark. Let's see. Matt says it's the Walking Dead version of Thanos. I'm sorry, Matt. What are you talking? What are you talking about? Are you talking about Minerva? Dan says good singer though. Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, yes, yeah, she is, but really creepy too. Um, Dan says she's crazy. LOL. Yeah, she is really crazy. I think that Minerva might be one of the most craziest characters in, like, the video game. Not only in the video game series, but maybe even in the franchise too. You know what I mean? Like, she was crazy. Like, not only did Minerva have, well, I guess she had Stockholm syndrome because of Lily's group, but I think she also had PTSD. And I mean, what else? She could have had, like, bipolarism. Like, I mean, this girl was just nuts. I mean, just crazy. And Minerva has the axe. She has a gun too. And when I saw this, I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me, because she tries to kill 10, and I can't believe that 10 was buying it. He's actually considering that, like, maybe it won't be so bad if I die. You know what I mean? And oh my gosh, it's just, I don't get me wrong, I love 10. He's a sweet kid, but I cannot believe that he was considering this. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. Matt says I'd say the craziest character in The Walking Dead is Gareth. He's definitely up there, Matt, but I mean, like, the difference is like Minerva, she was so crazy that she didn't care, as like, she didn't care about dying, or like dying a brutal death. All she cared about in that last moment was killing 10, I suppose. And then because Clementine was stopping her, she wanted to kill Clementine. So yeah, I mean, Minerva has got to be up there. But yeah, Gareth he was crazy, but Gareth, kind of like Lily, he was a beggar, you know what I mean, before he died. Let's see. Dan says Alpha is up there though. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one way to tell if a character is crazy, I suppose, like how crazy they are. If they beg, if they're begging before they die, like, you know what I mean, that's how you know, I suppose, if they still have any humanity left, I suppose, or like, because they have self-preservation. So like, the fact that Minerva didn't have it, and Alpha probably wouldn't have cared if she died. I guess she was more shocked, but Alpha, I couldn't see Alpha begging not to die if the situation came forward. So, Minerva, she's losing it, and she brings the walkers. And when the walkers go past Minerva, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but this has to be an error. What do you guys think? When the walkers went past Minerva, you know what I mean? Like, and they didn't bite her anymore, I'm just like, I don't know, that was weird to me. It kind of felt like they broke the immersion, I suppose, a little bit. It was a cool scene, don't get me wrong, but I still feel like that was a bit of an issue. And you know, and then like Clementine, I'm killing walkers, and then boom, like Minerva is right on top of me. She tries to chop me with the axe, and like um, it's just she's crazy, you know. Um, and oh yeah, so Clementine wrestles the gun out of her, and Clementine is just about to kill her, but she spits blood in Clementine's face, and that causes Clementine to miss. And then Minerva grabs the axe, and we get the moment where she cuts Clementine's leg. And I was just like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" I mean, when I saw that, I flipped, I freaked out. I'm like, are you serious? Like, she actually, I mean, she didn't like kill Clementine, but that leg was unfixable. You know what I mean? Dan says, "Yeah, it's like she is an undercover walker or something." LOL. Yeah, I don't know, Dan. I mean, I saw that she had blood on her, but I mean, it wasn't like guts level. You know what I mean? So that was weird. I mean, like I said, I love the scene. I love the showdown with Minerva. It's one of the best fights that Clementine has. You know, in the series, it's got to be up there. It's amazing, but it still kind of feels like it breaks the immersion of the story or the lore with the walkers. Anyway, so it's just so crazy. Minerva grabs the axe, and Clementine finally puts this crazy chick down by shooting her into the walkers. And the walkers have her. She's getting bitten. Yeah, see, now she's getting bitten. So that's what I'm curious on. Anyway, 10 is freaking out. He wants to save Minerva, I guess. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. 10, she's dead. Let her go. She's crazy. That is not your sister anymore. You know what I mean? And so AJ got across the gap, but Lewis is trying to get 10 to move, and he won't budge. So, okay, so when I was playing this, so Clementine jumps over the bridge, and even though she has a really messed up leg, she still does it. So props to Clementine for that, honestly. So AJ picks up the gun, and this is crazy. Because I trusted AJ to make the hard calls, he shoots 10 in the neck, killing him. And then, Lewis jumps over the bridge, and yeah, that's it. We lose 10 like that, and it's just so crazy. I'm like, whoa, like I did not expect this. I knew that trusting AJ was going to do something, but I didn't expect it this soon or that way. I'm like, AJ, why did you do that? You know what I mean? But looking back on it, I'm like, wow, because if AJ didn't do that, then Lewis would have died. You know what I mean? So it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I mean, it's just crazy how our choices like matter. I mean, like, let's be honest. Our choices mattered a lot more this season than they probably have done previously. So Lewis is mad, obviously, at AJ for killing 10, and AJ said he had to. He didn't want to lose his friend, but he couldn't let like both of them die, I suppose. And I'm just blown away by AJ's character because like I don't hate AJ. You know what I mean? I could never hate him, but I'm just like I don't understand him. Like he's such a complex character. He says that 10 is his best friend. He likes him, but he still just like cuts him loose from the group because he was doing something stupid and it was going to get them or get someone else killed, I suppose. And like I don't that's just so crazy. The fact that AJ can just like be like this at such a young age is just crazy. So anyway, the characters are running. There's walkers everywhere. Lewis gets separated from Clementine and AJ, and we get the part where Clementine and AJ, they're climbing up this rock, and we get the part where Clementine is struggling. She's trying to grab AJ's hand, and the walkers pull Clementine, and one of them bites her leg. And when I saw this, I'm like, okay, yes, I freaked out. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me again. Like, I'm just like, no, she did not get bit. There is no way she just got bit. And, I kicked the walkers off of me. We kill them. And when Clementine gets up, there's this quietness. And I'm just like, honestly, I did not feel good. Like, I thought about stopping the game, but I'm like, I have to see. I have to see and know. And Clementine like looks closer in her leg, and it turns out the part where Minerva cut with the axe, like around that area, is like gave an opening for Walker to bite, and I saw the bite mark, and I was just like, oh my goodness, we gotta chop it now. You know what I mean? With an axe, because we cannot lose Clementine. And then Clementine she said that we had to keep moving forward, but obviously Clementine is very scared and upset about this. Matt says AJ when he's older would be like Joel, I think. Yeah, exactly, Matt. Not just that, I picture AJ when AJ's older. I picture him being a lot like Officer Mercer, but think of Officer Mercer, but if Sebastian slapped him, AJ would knock his teeth out, like all of them. You know what I mean? Just like Officer Mercer, um, sure, he's a big dude. He's not a soft character, but he obviously he didn't hit Sebastian, because that's his boss's son. But AJ, oh yeah, he would definitely do it. But yeah, that's a good comparison, Matt. Yeah, AJ, like it's just crazy. AJ is very smart and he's very strong and he's tall for his age too. It's just crazy. Like he's already a beast at 5 or 6 years old. He's gonna be like crazy, like crazy, like when he's older. Dan says Clem getting bit just made me so sad and mad at the same time. Yeah, me too, Dan. I was just like, no, this can't be how it ends. They cannot be doing the same thing with Lee. I'm like, this has been an amazing season. And plus, like, I had a feeling like Clementine wouldn't die because they constantly teased us and all the trailers, all the interviews, all the promos, everything that, Clementine might end up the same way as Lee. And I thought, there's no way they're going to do it. They're going to try and subvert our expectations. I'm like, I know it's going to happen. It has to. But then again, I also was thinking, did I make a wrong choice? Did trusting AJ result in Clem getting bit? Like, what if I made the other choice? Dan says Joel in the Walking Dead series would be the best thing ever. Huh. Yeah, they can't use him though. That's an issue with licensing. But yeah. Matt says we need to see a game in the future with older AJ. As much as I would like that, Matt, I mean, um, hold on, restart. Is nearing the end of service restore install. I'll do that later. Windows, sorry guys. Um, I would love to see an older AJ, Matt, but the game ended so perfectly that I feel like if Kurtman does the whole Clementine live story, like if Kurtman does a comic book showing Clementine, he should show AJ too. You know what I mean? And we see an older AJ in that way. But yeah, I would love to see an older AJ. I could just picture him. He looks like Officer Mercer, but he's not going to tolerate any insults, nothing. You know what I mean? Just you do not want to make him angry. You know what I mean? Because like he'll get physical. You know what I mean? Dan says Kurtman Clementine lives series, please. Yeah. Um, Honestly, I don't know what they can do with the. I don't know what he can do, Dan, because Clementine, even though okay, so Clementine has a missing leg, but the thing is, everyone's different. Everyone's Clementine is a little bit different, I suppose. Then, like your Clementine is different from mine. So is AJ, but I guess Kurtman could have them looking the same. But still, there's a bit of an issue with if Clementine is in a story, what about Lewis and Violet? Does Kurtman put them too? Like, how does Kurtman account for, like, Dan? Like in my version, Clementine still has all her fingers, but in your version, she has 9 fingers. You know what I mean? So, how would Kurtman, How would he possibly do that? Like, what I mean? How would he do a comic without contradicting any single choice that we've made? Let's see. Um, Dan says, "Oh yeah, you say older AJ would be the best." Yeah, I would love to see an older AJ, but I don't know, like a Charlie Adler like comic art, like that would have been cool. if like Cartman posts it on the internet, that would be awesome. Matt says Andrew Lincoln teased the Rick movies on Instagram last week. Oh, okay, Matt. Thank you for telling me. I was about to, I was thinking that this week. I'm like, at this point, like, I feel like the Rick movies are never going to happen, but I'm glad that there's at least some information. Dan says, I actually didn't see that. What did he say? And Matt says, remember, I sent you the post. Yeah, I had no idea, Matt. And I honestly, like, I was losing faith in the Rick movies. Like, I just don't understand what's taking them so long. Dan says, oh, yeah, that's true. I actually forgot about that. Um, yeah, I have a trouble remembering links too that people send to me. You know what I mean? Unless it's like the first link I see or something, or unless I do it like right away as when it gets sent. So Clementine and AJ are walking in the woods, and man, I just felt so bad, so sad for Clementine. I'm like, no, this can't actually be happening, you know. And they go in James's barn, and there's so many walkers everywhere. I've never seen this many walkers before, like ever. Like they're just everywhere. You know what I mean? And like, okay, so Clementine and AJ they go in the barn, but like everything was so difficult. Like closing the door, like the walkers won't even let us close the door. It's just man, and they're breaking through. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Clementine has a bum leg. They have a knife and one gun. Like that's all they have. It's just crazy. So this is the part of the game where we get to play as AJ. And what did you guys think when we got to play as AJ? Because I remember I actually said that in season 4 when we're playing as AJ, I'm like, oh no, I mean as Clem. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys remember that? Dan thought, okay, it was a mistake, but it was also my mind, like subconsciously remembering that, we do play as AJ, but obviously Dan, like, I didn't want to let you know that. But yeah, playing as AJ was so crazy. Like, he's because obviously, let's be honest, he's a lot shorter. Like Clementine is shorter than every walker, but AJ is even shorter. So like that's just crazy to me. So, we're closing the barn door and we're blocking it and it's just so crazy. Like the walkers are getting through, the stalls are open too. So Clementine can't move anymore. Her leg is just bad. And honestly, at this point, like the nerves in Clementine's leg are probably just like dead or something from the massive cut that Minerva did. So AJ he has to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's so crazy to me. Like AJ is closing all these doors and he's doing all this stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. And when we were playing this, I'm just like, I was thinking, I'm like, man, they're setting us up to play as AJ. If they ever do a season 5, which I didn't think they were going to do, but they're having us play as AJ. So I'm like, okay, this is probably for the rest of the game. But I was hoping we don't play as AJ and then we have to kill Clementine or something. Let's see. Dan says, I think the movies will happen, but it'll be a while, maybe 2 years, but hopefully sooner though. Yeah, that stinks, Dan. Do you mean 2 years from now still? Because it has been, I mean, it's just crazy. It's been almost 2 years since we lost Rick in the Walking Dead main show. And man, I just, like, they gotta bring the movies in. Like, I'm just, I can't wait for them, honestly. And we gotta see what happens. Like, what has been taking Rick so long to get back to Alexandria? You know what I mean? Matt says it's a matter of when, not if. Um, yeah, I know, Matt, but the thing is that if the movies don't, if they're constantly delaying them or not even doing the footage or like, filming, then it's possible a studio might say, you know what, just cancel the movie. You know what I mean? Because it won't make, because if you take too long making a movie, then it's not going to make any money. Dan says, true, at least they're starting to release stuff about it, even just a little bit. Yeah, it really is just a little bit. I mean, like we don't even really know casting for the movie, obviously besides Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes, but we got hardly nothing about the movie. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we have location. Yeah, I don't think we have location. Like, are the scripts even done? I think Gimple said they were finishing them, but I don't think he said if he finished the scripts. But I think they said that Andrew Lincoln read them or something. But yeah, they got to get a move on with that movie. And I know it's an issue with COVID and all that, but they have to find a way to make it work, I suppose. Like wearing masks, while filming, or maybe they could use, maybe Andrew Lincoln could have a mask while filming, and then they could add that to the story. You know what I mean? Like maybe Rick is in an environment where people have to wear masks or something like that. I don't know, just something I thought of. So, okay, so the walkers are okay. So Clementine and AJ are trapped in the barn, and I was just like, man, I can't believe this is happening. It's exactly like Lee, and I was thinking like this cannot be how season 4 ends. It would be terrible. The way it's been great. Season 4 has been amazing, but killing off Clementine is just a bad way to end the season. And you know, like I tell AJ to kill me, and I say goodbye to him, and then we get the part where AJ swings the axe down, and I was just like, wow, like I had to take a minute and just think for a second. I'm like, did they really just kill off Clementine? And then we get the Clementine flashback where she's 14, and this kind of confused me because I'm like, wait a minute, AJ's 3, Clementine's 14, but I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, but season 3 took place a year before this. So I'm like, how does it take Clementine a year to find AJ if she knew he was at the McCarroll Ranch? And I knew it right away. The McCarroll Ranch was a bad place to send AJ. I mean, it was not safe. I mean, for Pete's sake, like this place was not a good idea. David sending AJ here or selling him here was just not a good idea in the slightest. Let's see. Dan says, just miss Andrew Lincoln, let alone Rick himself. Yeah, I know, Dan. Me too. There's just something about the show that's still missing. I mean, actually, who am I kidding? There is a lot missing from the show. There's no Carl. There's no Glenn. There's no Rick. There's no Michonne. We haven't had Maggie in forever. I mean, just there is so much missing from the show. Um, let's see. Dan says, I rather than film when it's safe to film, though. Safety first, but we definitely need these movies. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, Dan. I mean, I agree with that. Um, I just don't know with the whole COVID thing. Is it still super deadly right now, or is it, what I mean, or is it just, um, like okay at the moment? Because honestly, some people are saying it's okay, and some people are saying it's still, very deadly. So I'm just like, which one is it? Um, I mean, okay, so did they at least finish the scripts? Although I don't know, they should have started filming though, at least like before COVID, I suppose. Or were they about to? I forgot. Dan says the flashback was one of my favorite parts, but it also reminds me of how bad season 3 was. LOL. Yeah, that's true, Dan. Um, actually, um about the movies, they at least should get all the they should at least get the props and stuff done. You know what I mean? They should at least finish the scripts, get the storyboard for the movie all done, and maybe like send the scripts to Andrew Lincoln and all the actors electronically so that they can prepare for it. And that way, when they have to start filming the movie, they can do it like right away, I suppose. Hopefully, when COVID ends. But yeah, Dan, I agree. The flashback was pretty good, but it left me so confused. I'm like, wait, how does it take Clementine a year to find AJ? And where'd she get a horse? And why were these people attacking Clementine? You know what I mean? Like what was going on? Like none of it made sense. Matt says David was another bad person. Yeah, I mean, like he wasn't evil, but he wasn't a good person. I admit. Uh, like David, I don't think he was ever been to this place, and he just gave AJ there. Like, come on, that doesn't make sense. Dan says David from Survival of the Fittest. needs to kill the Walking Dead game version of David. LOL. Oh yeah, Matt. Dan, didn't Matt say he was gonna do a video like that or something? Um, let's see. Matt says, I feel like the Whispers were almost like a soft reboot for the show, and I wish he could kill off David. LOL. Um, yeah, the Whispers as a soft reboot. Yeah. The Walking Dead. I will admit, yes. When The Walking Dead, when Andrew Lincoln left the show, when Rick Grimes quote unquote died, it was definitely a reboot in the franchise. They did the whole 6 year time skip. Everyone looked different. Well, except Daryl. I mean, Daryl never looks different. But yeah, it was definitely a big reboot for the franchise. We had no Carl, no Rick, no Maggie, and just, it was crazy. I definitely think the Whispers, yeah, I agree. They were kind of a reboot. I don't think we're going to get any more antagonists with guns, I suppose. Let's see. And Dan says, agreed. All right, um, so yeah, in the flashback, I'm killing everybody because, well, except for that first guy at the front when he killed my horse and you know did that thing. Like, I'm just like, you know what, buddy, you can stay in the front. I'm going inside. Like, but basically, I had to, you know, as Clementine, I had to kill everyone, and I'm like, okay, can people stop trying to shoot me? Like, what is going on? Like, it was so annoying. And we find AJ. He's in this locker, and he is, up very upset. He's crying, and covered in blood and guts. And I'm just like, what has happened? What is going on? Like, and then Clementine takes him and, puts him in the car and wipes the blood off his face. And this part was kind of confusing to me because Clementine, she says, I can't go back to Richmond. But the fact that Clementine chooses not to go back to Richmond 2-3 years later after this flashback, I feel like maybe she just decided that to leave behind like Javier and all of them because like okay, so because David sent AJ here and this place was a bad idea, I think like Clementine decided to just not come back in this area, like the new frontier, like what I mean, like completely cut ties with them, I suppose. Dan says Daryl always looks the same. LOL. Yeah, I agree, Dan. That's one of the reasons why part of me can't really stand him. I suppose. I don't hate the character currently, but man, like, can Daryl just like, man, he just, Daryl needs a haircut and he needs like a different look. You know what I mean? Just some different look, please. Let's see. Matt says season 4 and onward, he has never changed. LOL. Yeah, or showered. That's true, Matt. Or showered. I mean, for, oh my goodness, I don't even know. And you say season 2 is his best appearance. Yeah, probably. Um, let's see. Dan says, yeah, I mean, he's got cool knives, but that's it. LOL. Yeah, like, I think I mentioned this in my last live stream. Can't they have Daryl? He gets a, like, okay. What would you guys think if Daryl got his hair cut and he instead of the vest like he always wears, he's got Rick's murder jacket. You know what I mean? Because Judith is too young to wear it. So what would you guys think if Daryl wore it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Would you guys like that? Because I feel like, honestly, that would be something. Dan says season 1 and 2 is the best Daryl. Yeah, because yeah, it's definitely it's the best Daryl because he's the cleanest. But yeah, Matt says imagine Daryl with season 1 hair and the murder jacket in season 11. Oh yeah, I just said that, Matt. But I guess you thought of it the same time I said it. So, but yeah, that would be great, Matt. If Daryl can just cut his hair short and just the murder jacket, like, Rick's jacket. I mean, that would be amazing. Judith is too young to wear it. RJ is not going to wear it either. He's way too small. And Carol should not wear it. Maggie should not wear it. I don't think Negan should wear it either. You know what I mean? Negan's got the leather jacket. That's his thing. But Daryl, it's definitely the murder jacket. You know what? Yeah, they have Angela King. I don't know if we could start a petition or something, but we got to tell Angela King, have Daryl wear the murder jacket in season 11 because it will be a while before they start filming. So, yeah, they definitely should. And I know Daryl has the vest that Judith repaired for him, but just take a break from the vest, Daryl. Like, come on, you've been wearing that outfit for 11 years. Dan says that would be the best ever. Yeah, that would be really cool, Dan, if they did that. All right, so okay, so the flashback ends, and we get the part of the episode where, wait, Dan says Negan with the murder jacket. Yeah, Dan. Quick question though: would Negan be wearing the murder jacket under or over his leather jacket? What do you guys think? If Negan was wearing that jacket, because he would have two jackets on, and I don't know, that would just be weird. Okay, so we get the part of the episode. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish talking about the episode real quick. We're so close now to the final stretch. So we get the part of the episode where we're playing as AJ. We're even talking as AJ too. Like we can say what we choose to say when we're playing as AJ now, and you know he's trying to catch some fish. There's Rosie, and we really get the sense that Clementine is dead. I'm like, oh man, they're making it seem like Clementine's dead, and we see Clementine's hat in the river, and I tried catching it so bad. Like, I mean, some people were freaked out. Some people did not want to lose the hat so bad they restarted it. Like they restarted the checkpoint because I think they messed up. But actually, what happened was the game makes it so where you can't catch the hat, but Rosie is the one who catches it for you. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm glad I waited and didn't like waste my time restarting to the next checkpoint. Like some people, I know some people did, but yeah. And the fact that AJ has Clementine's hat, I'm just like, wow, that really is passing the torch. You know what I mean for the series. And when okay, so wait, let's see. Dan says when I see Clem is alive, this was my favorite. Oh, this was my face. Um, yeah, I was happy too, Dan. I was so happy. AJ goes back to school and they're playing that sad music or, that take us back music. And I was just thinking, I'm like, no, no, no. Don't end the game here. Like, don't end it with them going into the school and the game just ends. Like, I was going to be so mad. Oh, hey, Jamie Minecraft. He says, hey, lads. Hey, what's up, man? Matt saying hi as well. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, Jamie, it's what like 8 or 9 o'clock where you are? Just curious. And Dan is also saying hi. Um, yeah, Jamie. So we're just talking about the final part of the episode. Take us back. So, Jamie says, "How's everyone doing today?" Pretty good, Jamie. I came from work and I wanted to, do the live stream with you guys and talk about the episode. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. All right, so AJ and everyone else, the other kids, they're going back into the school and they're closing the gate, and it pans over to the sign of the school where it says Erickson. Oh wait, Jamie says it's 9 p.m. Oh, okay. Don't worry, Jamie. I'm gonna end the stream in. Let me think. I'm gonna end the stream in about 30 or 40 minutes. I definitely don't want to go past 2 hours. Just to let you guys know, I do have some stuff to do. Matt says when I see Scott, I'm like, wait, seriously, Matt? That's your face when you see Scott? When I see Scott, I'm like, oh, Matt, that cannot be your face. No way. I can't believe it. I'm sorry. Dan says Scott will be the main character someday. LOL. And Matt says probably. Guys, if Scott becomes the main character of the show in season, what, 16, I'm going to stop watching. I am definitely not going to keep watching. Like, no way. There's no way I'm watching Scott be a lamppost for, the rest of the show. No way. I have my limits. You guys know that. So so the game cuts to black, and I'm like, oh no, please don't be over. Like that can't be it. You kill off Clementine, she gets bit, you kill off Clementine off screen. I'm like, that can't be it. And and then we get Clementine saying, "Hey, what do you?" She says, "Oh yeah." She asks AJ, "What you got there?" And I'm just like I didn't think it was a hallucination because okay, at first I kind of did, just the voice, but when I saw Clementine with the crutches, I immediately was like, she's alive. Like I'm so happy. Like I was so happy when Clementine survived. Hold on. Dan says Matt is the biggest Scott fan in the world. Um, um, Dan, I think you meant to say that Matt is the only Scott fan in the world, but yeah, I suppose biggest, only. I guess you can say they're the same thing. Jamie says I won't be able to stop long. I'm watching football/soccer, and it's halftime. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming, Jamie. I appreciate it. Matt says love me some Scott. Um, oh, and you're laughing, crying emoji. Okay, so you're just joking. Jamie Minecraft says hashtag if Scott dies we riot. Um, that's funny, Jamie. I think I tried to start a if Scott doesn't die we riot, thing, but I don't know. I don't think I have enough support for him. Dan says I think he's safe, so you can enjoy his character without worrying. LOL. Um, I mean, I'm not worrying, Dan. I'm just not thinking about him. Like that's what's funny. Scott is surviving because we're not thinking about him. He's the one character that people do not put in their death predictions. He's the one, or he's the last character. You know what I mean? And like, it's just funny when people say death predictions. They say Daryl, no, he's safe. Carol, 80% safe. Jerry, like 70% safe. But for Scott, he's not even in people's list. And I don't know how we got so sidetracked talking about Sky. Like, it's just funny to me. Like, we're talking about Clementine and AJ, some of the best characters in all the Walking Dead franchise, and yet we're talking about Sky, who is arguably the most useless or one of the most useless characters that we've ever had in the show. It's just crazy to me. Let's see. Matt says he's going to survive to the end, boys. I definitely think it's possible, Matt. I think Scott Gimple or something, or someone is pulling the strings because his name is Scott. Like, you know what I mean? Jamie says Scott is a legend. Um, yeah, I don't know about that, Jamie. Scott is okay. We got to stop talking about Scott, please, if you guys can. I just want to finish the episode and we can talk about other things but Scott. Like Clementine, AJ, Lee, they're legends. But Scott, I mean, come on. Dan says definitely, and Matt says we all love Scott. He's taking over every stream conversation. Not by choice. Not by choice, Matt. I don't want to talk about him. I really don't. But Scott is in every one of my live streams. We somehow lose track and just talk about Scott. How did we even? Okay, let me think. How did we even start talking about Scott? Okay, wait, hold on. So Jamie comes in. When did we talk about Scott? Um, it was Matt who says when I see Scott, I'm like happy. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. How did we talk about Scott? Um, Jamie says he could get the tower death. I think it's possible, Jamie, but he's such a minor character that I just don't see him getting that cool of a death. You know what I mean? Matt says, nah, he's too irrelevant. Yeah, I agree. Exactly, Matt. He's too. That would have been like, let me think. That would have been like Heath getting Lucille by Negan. That would have been like, are you serious? You know, you know what I mean? So that just doesn't work. He's so minor of a character, he doesn't deserve that cool of a death, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. Jamie says Tobin equals BTEC Scott. Um, Jamie, what does BTEC mean? Hold on. Maybe I can type that in. BTEC. Oh no, my stupid internet. Hold on, guys. I got this new program or something and it's doing some weird. things. You know what? Forget it. Man, I do not like my new program. Um, let's see. Dan says if he dies on the tower, people will be more mad than Carl's death. LOL. I don't know if they can get more mad than Carl's death, but it's funny. People will say similar to Carl. People will be like, "You chose the wrong character." You know what I mean? Like Carl, they should have chose Morgan or someone. But for Scott, they'll be like, "You gave him an iconic death." Matt says Scott from The Walking Dead versus Scott from The Plague. Matt, I haven't watched The Plague, I mean, I don't know who Scott is, but I already know that he will kill TV Scott. I already know. Like, has Scott even killed a single living survivor in The Walking Dead? Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys know if Scott has killed a single person in The Walking Dead? Like, did they establish that he killed anyone? Because not that I can think of, I don't think he killed anyone. Man, I do not like my new program at all. I really hate this. I gotta check if Scott has ever killed anyone. I don't think he has. Dan says Scott from the Plague all the way. Yeah, I haven't seen him or I haven't watched the Plague, but I already know Dan. Just I already know he would win. Matt says Plague Scott is a beast. That's cool, Matt. Yeah, I already know. I had a feeling that he would be, and I mean exactly. Let's see. All right, so we get the part of the episode where Clementine's like, "What you doing, goofball?" And Clementine has the crutches, and I'm just like, man, I'm so happy. And she has the crutches, and I'm just like, AJ, thank you so much, for cutting off the leg. You saved Clementine. You saved this franchise. Um, and then Clementine makes AJ, the tire swing, or she tells him about it, and you know, I love that because it was a tie-in to her swing back in season one at her treehouse. So yeah, um, hold on. Um, Matt says, I think he killed a few random saviors during All Out War. Um, yeah, I think so too, but that's implied. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even show him killing any saviors. It's just heavily implied because we know that a lot of saviors died in the war, but you know what I mean? Like they didn't. We just had to imply it. So, by the way, whatever happened to Scott's son, Marcus? You know what I mean? Like, or his adopted son from the sanctuary? Like, they never established what happened to him. Hold on, I'm just checking real quick. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Scott is. Are you kidding me? Scott is the longest Alexandrian who has survived past his comic arc. Um, let's see. Yeah, he's also one of the four remaining characters from season six. Um, wait, who's first? Wait, really? Supporting character? Scott is the second supporting character to outlive his comic counterpart? That's crazy. The second? That's kind of a big accomplishment, I guess. But yeah, so we get the part of the episode. Clementine is talking with AJ, and we're playing as AJ. This is so crazy. We're talking to Clementine now, and when we're talking as AJ, it says Clementine will remember that, and I'm just like, man, like it's just crazy. Dan says Marcus is the background like his father, 100 times more. LOL. Yeah, Dan, I agree. I have no idea how, but it's just crazy. Um, like I don't get it. Did the show forget these characters exist? Like that kid Marcus, he should be like a teenager, like Clementine's age, right now in the timeline. Like, why can't we have we? The show definitely needs more like teenage or kid characters. Like I think besides Lydia, I think Lydia is the only remaining teenager in the show. That's crazy to me. Matt says, I think Aaron is the longest surviving Alexandrian. Oh, he is, Matt. I meant, okay, so Scott is the second. He's not only the second longest surviving Alexandrian, he's also the second longest supporting character to outlive their comic book counterpart. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, I think that's what it said on his trivia. on the wiki, but yeah, it's just crazy that it's Aaron Scott. You know what I mean? Like the longest Alexandrians. I'm sorry, I don't know whose idea was that, but that was such a weird idea. Aaron, I can understand Aaron being the longest Alexandrian to survive, but Scott, I mean, just why? Why would you do that? Um, all right, so we get the part of the episode. So Clementine's talking with AJ, and I'm just like blown away by like the fact that wait, um, Matt says Gage is a teen who is still alive though. Um, Matt, oh wait, and you say although I hate Gage, so it's not saying much. Um, wait a minute, Matt. I mean yes, that's true. But Gage, hold on, let me type that in real quick. Gage is, I think he's dead, isn't he? Didn't Beta kill him off screen? Yeah, right here it says unknown. His last appearance was in Silence the Whispers, and right now we don't know if he was killed off screen. When Beta attacks Alexandra in the episode The Stalker, we don't see Gabe, and they don't even mention him. So I thought it was implied he died off screen. What do you guys think? I don't know. Um, Dan says I actually forgot he was still alive. LOL. Um, yeah, you remember him, Dan, right? He was with Laura in the premiere, killing walkers. But oh wait, hold on, guys, 1 second. Yes. Yes. You on the phone? No. Okay, can you come and help us see right now? I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm doing a video. Huh? I'm doing a video. You're doing a video? Yes, I'm talking to people. How long are you gonna be? I don't know, another 20 minutes. Okay. Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm back. Um, okay, so slight bad news. I gotta. Okay, wait. I gotta end this stream. Not now, but in a little bit. Um, my my mom needs my help with something. Something that I don't. Something I really don't like to do, and yeah, sorry about that. But let's see, how much longer can I go? Yeah, I think another. What do you guys think? Another 18 minutes, and I can wrap it up because I think I should. I was hoping to go 2 hours, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to. So so we'll just hit that an hour and 40 minutes mark, or maybe sooner. I guess it depends, but yeah, I think Gage is. I think he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead because we didn't see him for several episodes. Plus, he's not there with Alexandra. He's not there in the hospital with the other characters. So I feel like he should be considered dead, until we see him again. Uh, Hold on. Are you guys still there? Guys? Okay, hold on. Let me check something. Oh, wait. I should talk about the episode. Okay, so, all right. So, Dan, you didn't get this, but so Violet is, in my story, she's alive, even though she tried to, betray us. Violet apologizes for what happened, and she says that she blamed Clementine for being kidnapped and what happened, but she says that wasn't her fault and she shouldn't have blamed her. And Clementine accepts her apology, and we see that Violet has lost all of her sight in her right eye. Like, she can't see. Violet's eyes are burned, and she has some scarring around her left eye, but she can still see out of it. And yeah, like that's crazy to me. Like Violet, if you choose to save, if you choose not to save her in episode 2, eventually that leads into her becoming half blind. Let's see. Dan says still here, and Matt says I'm here, bro. Oh, okay, guys. Thank you. Yeah. I have to end the stream. I don't know, maybe like 16 minutes, because I have some stuff to do. Dan says, I love how it ends, still in a bit of a happy way, though. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I love that too. Um, and the way they ended too. Okay, the characters are eating, sitting down, laughing, and Clementine is talking with Lewis about this caravan that a sim spotted. And when I heard this, I'm like, is this the Commonwealth? Because this is taking place 3 or 4 years after Rick's comic death. So I was thinking, and I'm like, you know what? It would make a lot of sense for this to be the Commonwealth. It just feels like, I don't know, it feels like these characters are the only ones who still haven't, joined up with the Commonwealth. And I feel like it's likely at some point they join them. So, anyways, so yeah, AJ is just asking who they are, and it's just crazy. Like, I mean, sure they didn't say these survivors were wearing armor, but I feel like it's too. I feel like them saying it's a caravan of survivors is just too. It's like I don't believe it's a coincidence. I feel like it's got to be the Commonwealth, and okay, so after that, the characters are talking, and it really ends on a bit of a happy note. Like Clementine doesn't have her leg, and she can't run or walk like she used to. But AJ says or Clementine says AJ has to be strong for both of them now, and AJ says that you made it so I can be, and Clementine asks if she did a good job with him, and I told her, of course he did, and it's just crazy that this is how Clementine's story ends, and it's really good. Definitely one of the best endings for a series, unlike Game of Thrones. But yeah, and then it's like Clementine smiles, and then it ends, and then we get the part where we play as AJ again, and it's so crazy. We're walking with AJ in the hallway with all the still not bitten and the artists and the writers, all their names on the hallway, and it says Skybound Games, and as AJ we go in the room and we put all our stuff in, and it's just so amazing. Let's see. Dan says Clem at this point is definitely one of the best female characters in the Walking Dead universe. Dan says Alicia and Michonne are still better in my opinion, though. Well, I understand that, Dan. Alicia, I mean, yeah, I can understand that. But the writing for her hasn't been the greatest recently, and that's kind of why the writing for Alicia hasn't been great. As far as Michonne, Michonne is definitely amazing as well, but she's kind of gone from the show as well. And as much as I love comic and TV Michonne, I feel like Clementine still like wins as far as being a character. Like even over Michonne, like it's just crazy to me. But yeah, I understand that, Dan. Clementine, Alicia, and Michonne, they are definitely the best female, characters, or like strong women characters in the world of The Walking Dead. And this is how you do strong female characters. Unlike another zombie apocalypse game or story that I shall not name. Anyways, so we have AJ putting all the stuff away, and yeah, so I don't know. Did you guys collect all the collectibles? Because I almost got every single one of them. There was only a few that I missed. I only missed like a cat skull and a horseshoe. Those were pretty much the only ones I missed. But I had so much. I had James's mask. So yeah, actually, Dan, you don't know this, but after James dies in the beginning of episode 4, AJ can find his mask in the water and then hang it up in their room. So if you didn't know that, that's also a collectible. But yeah, it's just crazy to me. You know, AJ puts all the collectibles in, and he puts Clementine's hat, right in the center of the desk, and it shows, the glass and the sun, and it says thanks for playing. And I just love that. I mean, I was just like, what an amazing ending. So yeah, guys, that's it. The series is over. I have about 10 minutes left, and we can talk about whatever you guys want. So yeah, guys, the series is over. After Dan plays the Michonne game, I am going to do live streams, ranting about the game. But yeah, just so you guys know, I am gonna need some more topics for my live streams. Nothing with Scott though, please. I'm just begging you guys. Nothing with Scott in my live streams. Dan says, overall, I love season 4. It's probably my favorite season of the series, but I don't know if I like season 1 more or not. Yeah, it's really tough to say, Dan, because season 1 is so nostalgic. But looking back on it, I still don't get it. Like in season 1, where was Maggie and okay, where was Maggie, her sister Lacey, and her brothers Sean? Sean was in the barn, sorry, and her brothers Billy and Arnold. Like, where were they? Um, I don't understand that. That still bugs me in season 1, and I get it. Maybe they had a budget issue, but I'm like, oh, come on. They we should have seen Maggie's other siblings, besides Sean, in season 1. Matt says, "Oh, Michonne game." Yeah, I know, Matt, but like the thing is, I do need some more topics for the live streams, um, because we still don't have the season 10 finale, and Fear is still not here. Fear season 6. So yeah, Dan says thanks for doing a stream for the Michonne game. LOL. Yeah, you're welcome, Dan. And honestly, thanks for convincing me in a way to talk about it, because, or I guess not talk about, but I'm gonna be ranting because I just really did not like the Michonne game. But I do need some topics, and I will say things I liked about the Michonne game. But obviously, I'm going to talk about what I didn't like a little bit more than what I did like. Um, but yeah, guys, let me think. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything else at all? Because we still got about 9 minutes before I have to call it and help downstairs, help my family. Um, let's see. Oh, let's see. Matt says the main antagonist is so awful in that game. Yeah, I agree, Matt. I'm not gonna say here because I don't want to spoil Dan, but the main antagonist in the Michonne game, um, not even much of an antagonist. Let's be honest. It feels very weird. It's like a Janny level of antagonist. In fact, that might be where they got the idea. Dan says the finale needs to be here soon. Yeah, Dan, I can understand why the Rick movies are taking so long with the COVID, but the finale, it should not be taking this long. I really don't see any reason why it should be taking this long. Matt says, hopefully this month, otherwise we're getting Fear first. Yeah, Matt, I really think we might be getting Fear, the first half of Fear, and then the finale. I think it's gonna be like that. Because Fear is coming up soon, and there's still no news on the finale. Like, you know what I mean? Like a release date. Dan says, if we get Fear first, I'll be so mad, lol. Yeah, I think that's gonna happen, Dan, unfortunately. They're gonna make us watch a terrible first half of Fear season 6, and then give us the season 10 finale. Kind of like an apology, I suppose, for Fear. Um, yeah, so let me think. Who am I kidding? I don't really have much to talk about. Um, let me think. There's got to be something. Nope, nothing to talk about. Um, okay, well, I guess I can talk about this. Um, I hope that at some point, you know what? I feel Robert Kirkman in the last issue of the comic books in issue 193, when Carl is walking in the Commonwealth, they should have shown a scene where we see an older Clementine bumping into Carl and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then Carl is like, "No, it's all right. I'm Carl Grimes. What's your name?" And then the woman just says Clementine or Miss or Mrs. something, but my friends call me Clem, or just something like that. Like that would have been cool. Like a Clementine in her early 30s, like in the Commonwealth, like bumping into Carl. Like, I don't know. Kirkman said he was never going to introduce Clementine in the comics ever. He said never in a million years. And what happens? The comic ends, the game ends, and the comic book stores are doing terrible right now because of the COVID. And he decides, you know what? I'll put Clementine in the comic. And it's like, oh, Kirkman, you troll, Let's see. Matt says, and then we still need World Beyond. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, there's gonna be World Beyond as well. Dan says, all I say is Fear better be good, but we all know it won't be. LOL. Um, Yeah, that's true, Dan. Unfortunately, Dan says World Beyond has my interest way more than fear. Yeah, I think so. Hey, Epic. Q&A. Hey, Brian. That's what I don't get is how did Clem survive that? Oh, okay, Epic. By the way, I'm glad you're here. Unfortunately, I have to end my stream really, really soon. But I'm glad you stopped by, Epic. So one of the writers actually gave an essay how Clementine survived that. So so after Clementine, so after AJ chopped off her leg, he used the flint that Clementine found earlier, remember, and the knife to cauterize her leg so that she wouldn't bleed to death. And then he covered her chest in walker guts, or he put her in the wheelbarrow and then covered her chest in walker guts, and then was able to roll or wheelbarrow Clementine all the way to the school. So yeah, I know it's kind of like whoa, really, but yes, that's how Clementine survived that, and it's just crazy to me, but it does make a lot of sense if you think about it. AJ is very smart, he's very strong for his age, and he's very capable. So yeah, AJ made a great call there. Dan says, "Yeah, it completely surprised me. It surprised me too, Dan." And people probably didn't. And people probably will say, "Well, what about the bite?" Clementine was pale because of the injury to her leg, and this is what's crazy. People probably don't know this, but I actually did some thinking, and Clementine's leg. The reason Clementine, after the AJ cut off her leg, the reason she did not die from the bite is because even though it's been like 10 minutes, like I checked the time, Clementine getting her leg removed, the bite removed, and her time getting bit is like 10 minutes. And some people might say, well, isn't that enough time to get infected from a bite? And normally, yes, but I would say the reason Clementine did not die from the bite is because Clementine's leg was so badly cut by Minerva that the blood flow and circulation, her leg was going completely dead. You know what I mean? And because of that, the virus couldn't transfer like with blood normally, into the rest of her body. Like her leg was becoming dead, slowly because of the cut, and that was stopping the bite. Like this blows my mind. It's so crazy. If Clementine did not get her leg cut and she just got bit, she probably would have just died from that bite. You know what I mean? Dan says, thanks for all the streams on the video games, by the way. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Dan. I really appreciate all your videos and all your guys' support. Matt says, hey, Brian, in September, would you be down for Uncharted streams? They don't have to be the main topic, but it's something to talk about. I mean, we could talk a little bit about Uncharted. But as far as Uncharted uh, theme streams, I'm kind of not a big fan of it. But I will say, if you guys ask me about it, I will try to answer your questions as best I can. But as far as September, I feel like I kind of want to do more Walking Dead stuff. But I don't know if Dan ever plays The Wolf Among Us, I do want to do streams on that as well. So yeah, I mean I could do more streams than just Walking Dead, but Uncharted, it's not really my favorite. Dan says I'm still surprised that she actually survived that. Yeah, me too. But it makes so much sense if you think about it. If you think about how I explained it. Dan says, yeah, I'll be reviewing it in September. Uh, Okay, Epic says, by the way, one thing I don't get is about Lori is since she had a C-section with Carl, why would she get pregnant again? Judith was an accident. Remember, they didn't intend for Lori to get pregnant. They didn't intend for Lori to get pregnant again, or her and Shane. That it wasn't intentional. One thing I don't get about Lori is since she had a C-section with Carl, why would she get pregnant again? It was just a moment, Epic. Lori was just not thinking at the time, but neither was Shane, I suppose. But it just happens. It's people being people. But people who have a C-section can still get pregnant. It's very possible. Dan says Wolf Among Us is next in line after Uncharted. I want to know what it's all about. That's good to hear, Dan. I mean, it's not Walking Dead, but it is amazing. It's Telltale's second best video game, franchise, or second best, game season, and like it's right there with The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? And the main character, Bigby, is such an interesting and relatable protagonist. I really think you'll love him as well, like as a character. Matt says, I'll try Wolf Among Us as well. That's good to hear, Matt. It's a fantastic game. Like, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Like, I'm not joking. And at some point, I do want to maybe try some gaming streams, if I can, if I ever figure out how to do it. But yeah. All right, guys, I hit an hour and 40 minutes. I really have to go and help my mom with that thing downstairs that I don't want to do, but she wants me to do it. So, yeah, guys. So I'm going to end the video right here. And yeah, if you guys liked it, um, I'm not sure when my next stream is going to be, but I will try to let you guys know when I can. When I get some time, I'll figure it out and I'll reply to you guys when you ask me. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my streams. I really appreciate all of your amazing questions and responses. Jamie Minecraft, I want to thank you. And obviously, Dan, I want to thank you. Matt and Epic, I want to thank you guys so much. You've been amazing. Wait, Epic says they should make a Negan game. Skybound should. Oh, yeah, a Negan game. That would be awesome. Every single line that Negan says, it would be just the F word. But yeah, that would be pretty funny. Just every silence, it should say silence is not an option for Negan. Yeah, just something like that. It's funny. Dan says, thanks for the stream, man. Oh, you're very welcome. Matt says, hi, hey, Dan, I'll see you at the premiere tonight. Later, Brian. Okay, Matt. Thank you for stopping by. Take care and good luck with your premiere. Let's see. Dan says, time for supper here anyway. LOL. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta help my mom. Epic says I meant Negan. Oh, I know, Epic. I know what you meant. It's fine. Dan says, see you for the plague tonight, Matt. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, have fun and take care, guys. Have a fun week and be safe. Take care. Bye.